we are into indirect proofs, and in indirect proofs we are looking at proof by contradiction, and we want to say that if you want to show that some formula, if alpha is a tautology, we want to show that alpha is some formula which is a tautology, then what we will do is take the negation of the alpha and look for a model. So, if the negation of alpha is not satisfiable, that means alpha must be a tautology, and that is going to be our approach, which is called as a tableau method. So, this tableau is like a picture that you are creating. So, given any alpha, the tableau method looks for a model for not alpha. So, we have been saying that the way it does is that it eliminates logical connectives and tries to say, okay, what are the values for the constituents, the atomic formulas P, Q, R, S, T, which are consistent with this thing, and whether it is a model or not essentially. So, it collects the sets of propositions that go into making that formula and their negations. So, things like propositions are like P, their negations are like not P, and between both of them these are also called literals essentially. That is a term that we will also use later. So, it is trying to look for a set that is a model, and if it can't find this set, then it says that I can't find a model. So, I can't find a model for not alpha, and therefore, alpha must be a tautology. So, if you are looking for a model for P and Q, then both P must be true and both Q must be true in the once you have removed the connectives and put them and collected this set of literals which must be true. On the other hand, if you are looking for a model for P implies Q, then you can have two different models. One model in which Q is true, so Q must be present, or not P must be present. Of course, both can be present at the same time also, but if either one of them is present, then we have a model essentially. So, there are two possibilities of finding a model for P implies Q. So, we would write this as, if you have P implies Q, then either in the model not P must be there, or in the model Q must be there. So, we can go down either path, and this is a kind of tableau that we will create. So, if some interpretation or some model has P and not P, or if some interpretation has both P and not P, then it cannot be a model. And if you cannot find any interpretation which is a model, which means if there is no model for not alpha, then alpha is a tautology. That is the tableau method. So, let us look at that in action here. We said that the basic idea behind tableau method is to eliminate connectives essentially. So, we want to break down a compound formula, and we will see the rules that we use for 4 connectives. You can extend it to other connectives if you want to build a tableau method for other connectives. So, we will look at these 4 connectives. We will start with the negation, and we will see for each connective how to handle a formula and how to handle a negated formula. So, let us start with the negation, which is the simplest connective, and if you have not of x and x is a proposition, that means there are no more connectives inside, then there is nothing you can do, that is a literal. So, you will leave it like that essentially. But if you have not of x, which is a negation of not of x, then you can replace it by x, and we know that there is a rule of substitution which allows to do that. Even Frege's calculus had such a rule of implication. If you have and as a connective, then if you have x and y, then in your collection that you are trying to build, both x must be present and both y must be present essentially. We will call this as a column essentially. On the other hand, if you want to show not of x and y, the rule for AND says that either not x must be present or not y must be present essentially. In either case, that will be a model essentially. So, the other rules are for disjunction, or as you can imagine, for x or y to be true, the interpretation must have either x to be true or it must have y to be true. Any one will do, both will also do of course. But if you want to show that not of x or y is true, then not x must be true and not y also must be true, only then the whole formula is true. And likewise for implication, which is in many ways our favorite connective, to show that x or x implies y is true, it is enough to show that not x is true, or it is enough to show that y is true. Both can also happen at the same time. But to show that x or x implies y is false, which means not of x implies y is true, both x must be true and not y must be true. We saw this in the last few slides. So, let us see how the tableau is constructed. Add the negated goal to the set of premises. We have already discussed this, right. Let me see. Pick an unused formula in the tableau. Tableau is this pictorial diagram that we are trying to construct in the tableau, and eliminate the main connective essentially. So, after you have eliminated the main connective, we can mark that formula as used, and we will see this in an example, it will become very clear. And we can in fact throw it away essentially, we do not need it anymore. So, here we are saying we mark it as used essentially, it can be removed. The constituents are added to each column below it essentially. So, as we saw just now, some connectives will just extend the column, some connectives will bifurcate the column into two different columns essentially, and either one can be a model. So, each column is going to be an interpretation, and the termination of column can be done in two ways. If a column has both x and not x, then it cannot be a model, because both cannot be true at the same time, it is unsatisfiable and it can be closed. Otherwise, if there are no more connectives to eliminate, then it must be satisfiable, and then that is a model. So, this is the algorithm for searching for a model by breaking down the constituents, applying the rules that we saw, how to break down, how to eliminate and, how to eliminate or, how to eliminate implies and so on. Eventually, we are left with a set of literals. Literals are either atomic formulas or their negations. So, things like P, not P, Q, not Q and so on. And if we have a set in which both P and not P are there, for example, then it cannot be a model. But if there is no such contradiction inside, then it can be a model. So, let us show that modus ponens is sound. We start with its negation, as you can see, that is the proof by contradiction approach, of which model checking is an example, and the tableau method is a way of doing that. So, we add the negation, and this is the first connective, this is the main connective. We can always eliminate only the main connective. So, the main connective here is imply. So, we want to eliminate that. So, we use the rule for eliminating something from negation of alpha implies beta. So, you will get that alpha must be true and not beta must be true. So, alpha is in this case the first part, which is the antecedent, and beta is q, not beta is q. So, not beta must be true. Next, we eliminate and that is a simpler rule, as you remember, both must be true. So, P must be true and not Q must be true. So, as you can see, we have drawn this red line across those formulas, we have used them, we do not need them anymore. So, whatever else remains which is not cancelled is part of the interpretation that we are building essentially. But of course, we need to break down further. So, next time we have to eliminate this implication, again it bifurcates the set into 2, either not P must be true or Q must be true. The first column is closed because both P and not P are in the column. The second column is also closed. So, this line that we have drawn here, this bar that we have drawn there is just a sign that it is closed. This is also closed because Q is here and not Q is here. So, in that column, in the right hand side column also is not a model, the left hand side is also not a model, and there is nothing else left to eliminate. So, there is no model, which means what we wanted to show that P and P implies Q is a tautology, and therefore, modus ponens is sound essentially. Let us look at the abductive rule that we spoke about earlier. So, if you remember, that is Q and P implies Q implies P. So, let us do the same process here. The same thing we will do. First apply a negation, because that is what the method says, take the negation of the goal and then start eliminating connectives one by one essentially. So, like before, we eliminate the implication, we get something very similar, except that Q and P are in different places now. We eliminate the AND. So, we get Q must be true and P implies Q must be true. Then we eliminate the implication and we get that not P must be true and Q must be true. Now, you can see that there are no more connectives that you can eliminate. Remember that when you have something like not of P, then that is itself a literal. So, there is no further thing you can do. You are only left with formulas which are either propositions or negations of proposition. So, no more connectives are left essentially, which means as you can see in this example, both the columns are models essentially. What do the columns say? Both the columns say the same thing. In fact, they say that not P is true and Q is true essentially, is a model for this thing essentially. So, since we can find a model, that means not of alpha is satisfiable, that means alpha is not a tautology, and therefore, abduction is not a sound rule of inference, and that is something that we have been saying for a while essentially. Now, let us look at our Alice problem and see how you would solve it using the Tableau method. So, we have the premises. So, that is a column that we are constructing. We add the negation of the goal to the column, and that is approach by contradiction. Remember, take the negation of the conclusion and add it to this thing. And we will see that we are unable to find an interpretation in which the premises are true, which means the first 4 statements, and the conclusion is false, which means not of T is true. So, there is no model for what we have written on the left hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4 will also be the order in which we will process, because we are saying we are processing the formulas in the order presented. The reason we are looking at this example is to show that certain orders are better than other orders, but this is just to illustrate this. So, I am just showing you this whole process somewhat fast, but once we have this entire tableau, you can look at it and see that it is indeed what is happening. We are processing the formulas in the order in which they have been given to us. So, first we process P and Q, and so what we get is P here and Q here. Then we process P implies R. So, what we get is not P here, and this becomes closed, as you can see, because P and not P are present, and we also get R essentially. Then we process R and S implies T. So, we get not of R and S. I have written this in different order simply to accommodate the diagram, and T here. T makes it closed because T is not T is present, and so this is also closed. Then we break down not R of and S, which means we break down not Q or S. That is how we get this not Q here, and then that is how we get this S here. And finally, we break down this one. So, this is the fifth one that is broken down. So, not R and not S, not R and not S. So, we will get not R and not S here, and all these things are closed essentially. So, this is a tableau we constructed in which we process the formulas in the order that they were given to us. Now, order of eliminating connectives can be important, and we saw that there are certain connectives which introduce branching in the tableau, and it is best if you process them after you have connected the ones which do not add branching. So, for example, P and Q does not add branching. If you are going to simplify P and Q, you will add P and you will add Q. Whereas, if you are simplifying P or Q, then one model will be P, one other model, other interpretation will have Q, and then that way the tableau will grow essentially. If you want to keep it compact, it is better to do the ones which are not branching first and do the branching ones later. So, look at this following two proofs here. This is a different set of this thing that we want to show to be unsatisfiable, and it is unsatisfiable. This is a compact tableau, and it is compact because we processed the formulas in a different order, not in the order they were given. So, we first processed not P and not S, then we processed not Q or S, and so on. As you can see, they produced a vertical column without any branching. Only in the end we processed P and Q, and then of course, because P is here and not P is here, we could close this branch, and when Q is here and not Q is here, we could close this branch, and it is a reasonably compact tableau structure. But if we had processed them in the order in which the formulas were given to us, you can see that you will get a slightly bigger tableau essentially. So, there is it is a nice heuristics to have is to process the formulas which do not include branching first, and then go to the formulas which include branching. As you can see, the tree or the tableau on the left hand side is smaller than the tableau on the right hand side. So, let us look at proving one of Frege's axioms. See, axioms can be produced in different ways. We could have constructed the truth table, which is what I asked you to do earlier, but let us do it using the tableau method here. This I have taken from this book by Raymond Smullyan, who is a master in logic, and you must look for his books. Raymond Smullyan has many books, which have logical puzzles and so on. Maybe we will do one of them later in the course, one puzzle that is. But this link will take you to the book. There is a soft copy available. So, if you just press on this link, or you just look for this, the book is called Logical Labyrinths, and by this thing. So, this I have taken this proof from his book essentially. So, we want to show that Frege's axiom is true, and we want to show that the order of processing connectives is important essentially. Of course, here initially we do not have any choice, because there is only one main connective. So, we will have to process that, but subsequently when we get more formulas in the column, then which one to pick is going to change the size of the tableau that we will construct. And this is a nice example which I got from Smullyan's book, and he is also one of my favorite authors, and I would encourage you to look for his books. And this one, Logical Labyrinths, is fortunately I found it is available online. So, this link will take you there. So, after you have processed one, so this is a notation that he has introduced, which I have copied, that you are saying that this has been arrived after processing the formula which has got label 1 essentially, and there was no choice, there was only one connective to begin with. But then after processing the second formula, this is what we get. We had P implies Q implies R. So, to make that true, either not P must be true or Q implies R must be true. So, we have seen this essentially, right. then we process the third one. What is the third one? That is something negation of some implication, and that does not introduce branching. So, we get 1 here and this one here. So, P implies Q must be true and the other one must be false. So, this is why this negation of that comes in here, but you can see that this whole thing is repeated here. So, that is something that happens. You have to do this in every branch of your tableau essentially. Then this is after 4 there is nothing you can do, because the formula number 4 is just negation of P. So, the next one to do is 5, and this is what happens after 5, and 5 is only in the right hand branch. So, you had Q implies R. So, either Q must be false or R must be true, and so that is what we have here essentially. Then we go to number 6, which is similar, P implies Q. So, either P must be false or Q must be true. Then we go to number 7, which says that P must be true or R must be false and R must be false. So, to make not of P implies R true, you must make P true and R false, but the moment you make P true, this becomes closed. So, we have left it here, and it happens in both the branches, and why what is happening here is because there is not of P, and so that is kind of influencing both the branches here essentially. We have not written R. Ideally, you would have added R if there was a need to do so, but because the branch got closed or the column got closed, we have left it there. Then we have gone to 5. No, then we have done after 8, which is P implies Q. So, again not P or Q, and this is again repeated here, as you can see, not P or Q. So, after 8 we go to 9, and we find at the end of 9 is again this not P or R, the same thing that we did with 7 and 9 are identical. So, the same process happens, but it happens more times on the right hand side branch, and you find that everything is closed. In this case, because there is P here there is Q and there is not Q, and then P and then not S here. So, there is some S somewhere. Sorry, this is a mistake, this should have been R, and because not R is there and R is there, this has got closed. So, I need to correct that. So, it is not S, it is R. So, finally, let us see if you can find a shorter tableau for the same problem that we are trying to solve. This is the negated axiom of the then 2 axiom, and the first step is the same because there is only one connective to break down. Now, instead of breaking down 2, we have broken down 3 essentially, and 3 does not introduce branching. It says that for this either P implies Q must be true or the consequent must be false, that is not P of R must be true. Then instead of processing 2, we are processing 5 as is mentioned here, and 5 says that P must be true or not R must be true. For this formula to be true, either P must be true or not R must be true. To make P implies R false, you have to make P true and R false. Now, of course, you have to end up using branching again, but you can see that things will close down much faster. So, here we have used the second sentence finally, and then we have used the sentence 4, and then we have used the sentence 9, and then we have finally come up with this shorter proof. As you can see, this proof is much shorter than the one we saw, that in which we just blindly processed formulas in the order that they were produced. So, first we used one, of course, there was no choice. In the previous proof, we produced 1, then we produced 2 and 3, we used 2 first, then 3 and so on. In this example, we after we have produced 2 and 3, we did not use 2, but we used 3 essentially. So, by making a judicious choice of which connective to use, and it is not very hard, it is a simple heuristic that keep the branching connectives for as late as possible, and you can see that this will give you a shorter proof essentially. So, this should complete our study of propositional logic. The main reason why we studied propositional logic was to give us a feel of what proofs are like essentially, because the language itself is very simple, but the proof techniques will carry forward to the next language that we will study, which is first order logic, which is really in some sense the bulk of work in mathematics is done in first order logic, and we will come to this in the next session. Okay, so, see you then.